been a long, strange trip.
Well, it has, yeah. It's been
fun. Now, you guys going to play some more? Hey,
Absolutely.
Jody, these guys going to play for us?
Definitely.
We'll try.
You guys,
I got a boo-boo.
Interview left?
Hey, I'll talk as long as you guys want, man.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything.
Well, that is something.
We're still out there doing it. We're still playing. We're still
full time.
We change up things.
Five
We may play like different places, but we rotate our places. We use them up for a couple of years and then we move on to somewhere else. But
well, there's 3 myths that I've discovered in the music business. One is, oh, you guys make all the money.
Yeah,
that's the myth. Myth number 2 is, you get all the women. And number 3 is, oh, you don't have to work.
Yeah.
I work 10 times harder at my music job than I ever did as an electrician. Trust me. Like when you're an electrician, you go home, the job's done. Guess what? When I get home from a gig at night, I got to sit there and practice 4 or 5 hours. Even if I didn't play, like when they had COVID and we weren't allowed to go out and play, you still have to practice 4, 5, 6 hours a day or else you stink. That's the thing about music. You have to practice or you get lousy. So it's not like, oh, I learned everything, I'm good now forever. No, you could be the best musician in the world and you quit for a year and come back and you're at starting point again. You're a beginner. So, it's...
I'll tell you what, though, we are starting. What we're doing now is, again, on a different. Not to get away from what you were saying, but the band that we do, and we may even do another one with
Chaz Avansky, best drummer in Northeast Japan.
We may even do another with the band.
Yeah, and John's wife sings with us. She's fantastic.
My wife sings with us, really good. But we're thinking we're going to be doing a show. It's going to be Dead Janis. It's going to be
Dead Janis.
And Janis Joplin.
We're going to do Grateful Dead and mix Janis Joplin in because his wife sings it great.
Yes.
She sings Janis great. So, I want to say something about your wife. I had to get a vocal operation. Okay.
I remember.
So during that time I couldn't work, and Johnny wanted, you can't sit around making no money just because I'm on the can. So he took his wife out with him, who she's very talented, and she filled in for me basically almost a year. It was like 9 months or something.
I remember, Terry.
So when I came back, I'm going, well, why don't we just keep her in the band? And, because she's great. Now, I was always against women in a band. Always against it. Not for, any weird
so you're
reasons.
not a big Donna Gottschall fan, in other words?
No, that's not it. It's because they tend to break bands up. She starts banging the guitar player or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's what always happens. I mean, look at Jefferson Airplane, Fleetwood Mac, all of them. It happened at...
Mike said that, too. Mike said that. You can't get a chick in the band.
The band will be ruined.
In the band.
So I was always against it. But then when his wife came in, here's the thing.
Terrific.
I had to work. It's like you have different jobs. You break up your jobs according to talents in a band. Like Johnny books us. He's the best businessman in the band. He does all that stuff. And I'm kind of like the musical director kind of a thing. So when John first got in the band, he'd come over to my house to practice with me and we get everything down. His wife was the one person out of all my years I never had to say one word to. She comes in, she sings all the right parts. She does it's like amazing. I go, I never had to say one word to her. To like, well, you should do this and you should try that. Not one word, I'm not kidding you. So here I am. She's literally slapping the crap out of my face saying, women are good in the band. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Here I thought all these years, no way. And then when we get her in the band, I freaking love her.
What's her name?
That's just because
Christine.
It's just
Christine.
That's just because we're too old to have sex anymore.
I read about it. I hear about it. People tell me about it.
Her name's Christine.
Yeah,
and
she's great.
She was raised in Queens. So she's a New Yorker.
How'd you meet her? You're from Ohio.
Well,
He chased her.
Her grandmother lived in the Hanover section of Nanticoke. Mm-hmm. And so when she got older, she went to a college in New Rochelle, and for broadcasting. And she first job was for PBS in Manhattan, and she used it like a DJ, playing Perry Como records. She couldn't play anything any more like risque than Perry Como or Jerry Vale. Jerry Vale, you got to watch, But she would play music like that, and then she went on to get her teaching degree, and then she had a lot of children, and then she's a teacher now at Luzerne. She's a professor at Luzerne at LCC. but I met her at an open mic. Bill Hoffman, another musician from the area, had this open mic in Plains, and somehow he knew her, and she got talked into singing in this open mic, and I happened to be there, and it was one of those things.
Yeah, he just met her, but don't let him fool you. He came here and he told me, I saw this girl, she had this song, it's called The Pierogi, The Last Pierogi.
Last Pierogi.
So he goes, she wrote a song called The Last Pierogi.
Yeah.
You know,
I liked her.
a
She
good
was
girl.
So
yeah,
then
she was really
he
nice.
just met her, and then like about 2 weeks later he goes, I'm going to go get her. Kind of a thing. And he did.
I didn't say I was going to go get her. I mean,
Kind of it. You did. In a way, you
He
said
had
to
a
me.
good thing, right?
He chased her. Don't let him fool you. He chased her.
you're going to have to edit this. 'Cause they're not going to get a lot of questions. Oh, you did? Yeah.
But like I said, that's our band. It's me, Johnny, Christine, and Chaz. You know?
Yeah.
And Chaz,
And we do use
Chaz is the best.
we do use
Chaz is one of the best drummers I ever played with.
Greg from the Village Idiots when we're doing like our Dead stuff.
Yeah, Greg comes in, plays guitar with us.
Yeah.
Greg Condrit.
Yeah, he's really good, and we used a keyboard player from there.
And
So it's a
Greg
lot
will
of
be in the
stuff.
band with us if we do this Dead Janice too.
Yeah.
So we'll have 2 guitar players.
So you play the full band and you do the duo. I guess a lot of it has to do with, how tough it is to find. It's not like the old days playing, but then again you play 5 days a week. Or whatever. So you guys have made it work. But most, what I hear, it's difficult for them to make a living.
Yeah.
Especially my good friend Lee Strubeck, the piano player.
Right.
And trying to make a living around here in the piano business.
Well,
is
yeah,
tough.
it's not the gigs, the bar gigs, like the bar gigs.
Yeah.
They're the least of if you're trying to make money, if you're trying to make a living, you're not going to rely on those because you don't make money in a bar.
You just
And it's
barely
private parties and private events and weddings and things like
that
that.
helps.
Those are the things that are you're gonna make your living on because you never look because hey, you play in a 50th birthday party and there's like 50 people or 40 people and no one's listening to you, and it may be depressing for a musician. You're just knowing. But those are paying the bills. Those gigs pay the bills.
Got it.
And so we get a lot of those because, the demographic that likes us is in the, they're the ones that are having all these parties. So.
Well, I got to tell you the truth about that. The kind of music we play, it seems like everybody likes. From 7
That's
to
true,
70.
yeah, it's true.
We can play anywhere and they'll like us.
We do.
You know?
We can do that. We can play like real quiet dinner music.
Yeah,
and
we're
we
real
can play
versatile.
rock, and we could play Black Sabbath and
Yeah.
the Dead. We could just do a wide.
And we could do it by
spectrum.
reading our crowd. We come in, if they seem like jokers,
Yeah.
we'll joke with them. If they don't, we'll just play songs.
We don't pigeonhole ourselves to one type of music, but we do keep our music within a certain time period because that's what we do. And if we did it, like if we started playing music from the 90s, like Stone Temple Pilots,
Well, we don't like it anyway.
well, even if there was a song that was
Neither do
okay,
I.
it would just not be us,
Yeah.
It's not us. So let someone else do that, Let
and
someone else
sometimes
play
people will
Wagon
come up
Wheel.
to us and they'll say, "Why don't you do Allman Brothers?
Yeah.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you do?" And we go, "Well, Allman Brothers had 3 guitar players, and
Yeah.
we don't want to do it at this.
Well, they remember when-
we don't want to
yeah.
fake it and sound like crap. So
Yeah.
and because we love the Allman Brothers, the old jam, Strawberry Jam, when we had 5-piece, we could do it then. You had 2
Well,
guitars,
I was
keys.
mentioning it to Jody. I mean, being a little, between the Stones and the Doors and Bobby Seger and everything else, and then we were more. Then we got a little behind him in age, and even not even the Grateful Dead people his age, but then you had the Southern rock and roll gist to it. The Outlaws, Marshall Tucker Band,
Yeah.
Charlie Daniels.
That was a good
New
period.
Riders of the Purple Sage. And like we picked up on that. And you're right. Where do you find that music? And that's
We did do it.
when we see you guys, we know we get that. And you don't get that. I mean, who else plays it?
Yeah,
We did a gig with the New Riders of the Purple Sage.
yeah.
You played with New Riders?
We
Yeah.
opened up for them.
And was
Well,
Donna-
tell
Donna
me about
Cutler-
that. That's huge, man. What do you mean you open up for New Riders? You
Yeah,
really
New
did
Riders.
that?
Dave Nelson was there.
Dave Nelson, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we opened up. For
We opened
lots
up
of
for
people.
Little Feet.
We did a gig.
I mean, stuff that that's us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did one with John Sebastian from the Love and Spoonful.
Sure.
Yeah, that was
But
good.
these days
You
it's
open
like
up for New Riders.
And then
like, this is
we
great stuff.
we opened up. We did that show with John Sebastian down like toward Allentown or something.
yeah.
And we couldn't even hang out me and Johnny had to go play somewhere else after.
It was a
we couldn't even hang out with John Sebastian.
It was at the
Hey,
Delaware
nice to meet
Watergate.
you. We gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah, we couldn't even.
That's how our life is, you know. We were always playing.
Yeah.
We don't even like worry about
We
sleep.
had to leave for
you
a
just
gig,
book
yeah.
it. If somebody calls, book it.
Yeah.
We'll worry about sleep later, you know.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's crazy because sometimes we'll get gigs, like we'll have a week where we're playing somewhere at 11 in the morning on Tuesday, you know.
yeah.
And then, you know, it's like Saturday, maybe you might have another one, you know.
Well, we do retire.
So you're getting
yeah.
home at 3 in the morning sometimes,
Yeah,
and other times you start at 11 in the morning. It's
That's a new twist. We're doing senior centers now.
yeah, they like us.
Yeah, because
Well, we shouldn't have told anybody, John.
no.
My friend Lee Strubeck does a lot of those in the piano.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we play like our 50s and early 60s stuff for
Yeah.
them. They love it, you know. We play like Mac the Knife and stuff.
It's not like it's not a nursing home. It's senior center.
Senior,
Right.
senior center.
Yeah,
And
so
they
it's-
appreciate it. He
Yeah.
said they just
oh,
love
it's
them.
2 in the afternoon. They're dancing all over the
Yeah.
place, you know.
Good for them, too. You know?
I'm older than half of the people that.
It's funny. They're all crippled over.
Well, my dad always says, getting old ain't for sissies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, but it's just been so much fun. I mean,
Yeah.
what a
well,
great...
that's the main reason we do it is because we love music. It's fun. Because believe me, if we didn't love music, we wouldn't be doing this shit, would we, John?
No.
It's hard.
You know, but that's what I told Jody. I said, we go to Side Street, or goes to a great rock scare. And, you know, you had other good bands in the area, too. You know, you had Abilene, Jerry Kelly with
That were
Dakota,
good days.
all those days.
There were so many good
Abilene,
bands and so many good
Blue
places to go
Sparks
see
from
them.
Hell. You know, when you ever...
I called them the world's greatest bar band, Blue Sparks from Hell.
Gibbs Cullen Band. They were a good duo. They did a nice job. You know,
Yeah.
then you had the solo guys. You had, you know, Pat Goodwin and
Remember Red Eye? Jim
Daryl
Havley?
and
Tipper?
And Tipper.
Yeah.
Tipper and I have maintained our friendship through all these years. And I ran into Daryl at a Marshall Tucker concert. I forget where it was. They're all dead except for Doug Gray. It's like a cover band, but they're good. You know.
Jimmy Havley's still around, I think, somewhere. Those guys, they bought a
Daryl
big...
and Tipper. Remember out at One of Honey and out at the lake?
Yeah, that were
We
great concerts,
yeah,
man.
Southern rock and roll.
What happened to this planet? Oh, out of Honey. Remember those concerts?
Oh, they were
That
the
was
best
fantastic.
guys, man. That's how
Right up
Harvey's
behind Harvey's
for
Lake.
about- yeah.
Oh, by the way, I just ran into Tim Carey via an
Tim's
email
terrific.
and a text, and then he sent me a whole bunch of stuff. He's online. Tim Carey, forget it, what his YouTube
Tim and his
channel
wife are
is.
good friends.
And he was doing beautiful, beautiful work. And I said, you should just come up and get an Eddie
He lives at
Palm.
Chickshinny Lake.
And he said, well, we have to practice. I said, you don't have to practice. You just come up and do some talking. Everybody will
Right.
enjoy it. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm working on that one. too.
Cool.
Oh, Tim's
Those
great.
guys
And
were-
his wife, they are wonderful. We've seen shows. I've maintained a friendship. It's been a few years. Sorry, I haven't seen you, Timmy. But how about Daryl? Daryl was a piece of work, man.
You know what's crazy? They had, in those days, the 70s, when Red Eye was, you know, big around here, they bought a big potato chip truck for their
Right.
Yep. Band
Yep.
truck, and they
Yep.
painted it, and they painted a big red eye on the
Right,
side.
yep, with the big red
And those
eye.
guys, I was only like 14 years old. They used to pick me up hitchhiking all the time.
Oh,
hey,
man.
Terry, how are you, man? They knew I was a drummer and
Yeah,
everything.
right,
They, I don't know if you remember the Back Mountain String Band.
Sure.
That was my uncle's band, Mooney, on banjo. And
Yeah,
right
well-
next door, the bass player, his name was Gene Edwards. When I was just a little kid, they moved in next door to me, way out in the country and out in Chase by the prison.
Yeah.
The Cross Valley didn't exist. It took you an hour to get to Wilkes-Barre
Right.
in those days. And I'll never forget because, well, the reason I'm bringing it up because the bass player Gene Edwards for the string band, he also played for Kind of a Drag or the Buckinghams, and he's the bass player for Buckinghams. And I just happened to get lucky. Here I am. I'm 10 years old. One day, you knock on the door. I open it up. We were way out in the country. I mean, it was country back then. You saw a fox and a turkey every day of your life in those days. So bang, bang, bang on the door. Way out in the country, I open up this big hippie dude, like a Harley-looking guy, you know, full beard, hair down to his elbows. He goes, "Is your dad home?" I go, "Oh, yeah." So I run back. I'm like 9, 10 years old. I'm like, "Dad, there's some hippie dude at the door." I was a hippie too. I had long hair as a
I have
kid.
long
but,
hair, too.
But I never saw a guy like that. Like right in my face, a big dude like that. So he goes to my dad. He goes, "Yeah, we're just moving in next door." He goes, "Yeah, yeah." So what? He goes, "Well," he goes, "there's a bat flying around upstairs." He goes to my dad. He goes, "Do you have a bow and arrow?" "Oh, do I have a bow and arrow?" My dad's all into archery. Instant best friends. So all next door to me, when I was a kid growing up, there was just total jam sessions constantly.
So you just
They go,
really-
"Terry, go get your snare drum and your hi-hat." And Gene wouldn't let me bring anything more. He'd make me get creative on a snare drum and a
And
hi-hat.
you started in
I'm a little
drums.
kid. Yeah, it was pretty fun.